Let's be honest, handling people who don't respect you is one of the most frustrating and discouraging experiences you'll ever go through. Whether it's a coworker, a so-called friend, or even a family member, the pain of disrespect can shake your self-esteem and make you doubt your worth. Trust me, I've been in that position, feeling small, devalued, and ignored. The common belief is that you either confront them aggressively or simply endure it. But what if I told you there's a third way? A way rooted in Buddhist wisdom, where you can handle disrespect with calm and clarity, without compromising your peace of mind. Let's dive into it. When it comes to dealing with disrespect, the first thing we must understand is the importance of boundaries. In Buddhist teachings, boundaries are not meant to punish or push others away. Instead, they're about respecting yourself and offering clarity to others. Many people believe that being kind means tolerating anything, even disrespect. But without boundaries, kindness can turn into self-neglect. Think of it like this. When someone disrespects you, whether through constant interruptions or belittling comments, silence can often be mistaken for consent. However, setting a boundary doesn't have to be aggressive. You can simply say, "I value our conversation, and I'd appreciate it if you'd let me finish." This allows you to protect your space while also treating the other person with dignity. Compassionate boundaries are not just about self-defense, they're about mutual respect. When you establish these boundaries, you teach others how you expect to be treated without letting anger or resentment take over. It's natural to want to defend yourself when someone disrespects you. But here's the thing. Reacting emotionally often fuels the fire. In Buddhist practice, we learn that clinging to strong emotional reactions, especially anger or defensiveness, only deepens our suffering. When you react, you're handing your power over to the other person, letting them control your emotions. Instead, practice mindfulness in those moments. When someone tries to provoke you, take a step back mentally. Observe the situation without attaching yourself to it emotionally. It's like watching a storm pass. You don't have to step into it. One of the Buddha's teachings reminds us that we have the power to control our responses, not the actions of others. So, next time someone disrespects you, instead of jumping into a verbal battle, try responding calmly. You could say something like, "I see that you're upset, but I'd prefer to continue this conversation when we're both calm." This approach diffuses the situation and keeps you centered. In Buddhism, the concept of right association emphasizes the impact of those we spend time with. Disrespectful people can drain your energy and disturb your peace, so it's essential to limit your exposure to them. Now, this doesn't mean you should cut everyone out of your life at the first sign of disrespect, but it does mean being mindful of how much time and emotional investment you give to people who consistently fail to respect you. For example, if it's a colleague who often disregards your input, focus your interactions on work-related matters only. Keep it professional and limit personal engagement. If it's a family member or friend, set boundaries around when and how often you interact. The less time you spend around negative influences, the more space you have to nurture your inner peace. As the Buddha taught, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely who gets your energy and time. In moments of disrespect, silence can often be more powerful than words. Disrespectful people often seek a reaction. They thrive on the idea that they've gotten under your skin. But when you meet their disrespect with silence, you rob them of that satisfaction. In Buddhism, silence is a form of non-attachment. It's a way of saying, "I see your negativity, but I choose not to be drawn into it." Think about it. Responding with silence doesn't mean you're weak or passive. It means you're exercising control. When you remain silent, you give yourself the time to reflect and avoid saying something in anger or hurt. Next time someone tries to provoke you, take a deep breath and choose silence. Let them sit with their own words while you maintain your inner peace. Over time, this practice will not only help you manage external conflicts, but also strengthen your self-control and calm. One of the biggest challenges in dealing with disrespect is the tendency to take it personally. It feels like a direct attack on your worth. But Buddhist wisdom teaches us that other people's actions are a reflection of them, not us. Their disrespect is often rooted in their own insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings. The next time someone disrespects you, instead of thinking, "What did I do to deserve this?" remind yourself that their behavior has more to do with their inner turmoil than with anything you've done. You are not the cause of their anger, and you don't have to bear the burden of their negativity. This doesn't mean you ignore the disrespect. It means you recognize it for what it is, a reflection of them, not you. When you stop internalizing others' behavior, you liberate yourself from unnecessary suffering. By practicing detachment, you protect your sense of self-worth and regain control over your emotional well-being. Walking away from situations or relationships that don't respect you is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's a declaration of self-respect. Sometimes, the best way to handle ongoing disrespect is to remove yourself from the situation altogether. In Buddhist practice, walking away symbolizes letting go of attachment to outcomes and prioritizing your peace. If you find yourself in a toxic environment where your boundaries are consistently ignored, it's okay to walk away. Whether it's leaving a conversation or making the difficult decision to distance yourself from a disrespectful relationship, this act of walking away says, "I refuse to be treated this way, and I choose my peace over this negativity." It might be difficult, especially if it involves someone close to you. But remember, staying in a toxic situation can erode your self-esteem over time. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're choosing yourself. In Buddhism, the community, or Sangha, is one of the three jewels, a key part of the spiritual path. Surrounding yourself with supportive, positive individuals can act as a shield against negativity and help you maintain your emotional balance. When you're surrounded by people who respect, uplift, and encourage you, it becomes easier to deal with those who don't. These relationships act as a reminder of your value, reinforcing that you deserve kindness and respect. Whether it's family, friends, or even a spiritual community, having a supportive network helps you feel grounded, confident, and loved. They become a buffer against the challenges of dealing with disrespect. So, take time to nurture these positive connections. They'll help you handle the tougher moments with grace. One of the most transformative tools in Buddhist practice is loving kindness meditation, a metta. It involves sending thoughts of love, compassion, and goodwill to yourself, others, and even those who have hurt you. This may seem counterintuitive, but offering compassion to those who disrespect you doesn't mean you condone their behavior. It simply frees you from resentment. When we hold on to anger or bitterness, it poisons our own minds and hearts. Metta helps you release that emotional burden, allowing you to approach disrespectful situations from a place of peace. Start by offering loving kindness to yourself. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. Then extend it to others, including those who have disrespected you. Over time, this practice cultivates a sense of inner strength and compassion, making it easier to handle difficult people without losing your peace. Handling disrespect is never easy, but with these Buddhist principles, you can navigate it with strength and calm. Whether you choose to set boundaries, respond with silence, or walk away, remember that how you respond to disrespect is a reflection of the respect you have for yourself. So, the next time someone disrespects you, pause and ask yourself, how can I handle this situation with both compassion and strength? What choice will best protect my inner peace? If you found this helpful, be sure to watch our next video where we explore how to cultivate unshakable confidence through mindful practices. Thank you for watching, and may you always walk in peace and self-respect.